Hey guys, James here, and today I want to talk about the steer spec that no one is talking about. And yes, it's a warlock spec, it's destru. Um, right now, people, and I think it's normal, after 2 years or maybe 4 years of affliction not being good, um, they are all flocking to affliction, as am I. But there is a spec that is way better than affliction in every sense and every kind of way, and it's destro. And I'm gonna show you why, show you the two specs you can play, and yeah, you guys then try it out. You have you have different builds for destro, and before I show you the build I'm most hyped about because of all the melee cleaves. This is a normal build against, let's say, a caster cleave that is not a Shadow Priest or a Affliction Warlock. It's pretty normal. You just swap to Grimoire of Sacrifice if you face an Affliction Warlock or a Shadow Priest because they will kill your pet always at high ratings. But yeah, this is the normal spec. But I'm not gonna talk about the normal spec. I'm gonna talk about the spec that you wanna hear, the spec that it will allow you to get a lot of pressure against the melee cleaves, and that is Shadowburn. Um, by the way, but before I start this, you have two legendaries before you start to play these specs that you need. The first, it's Madness of this Askir, Akir, the Madness of Akir. This is really good against Wizard Cleaves. You play the normal spec with reverse entropy and you play that legendary, just keep in mind that what's gonna hit hard it's your second chaos bolt, so whenever you chaos bolt you always need shards for the second one, so just keep that in mind. This is the highest burst you will ever get, it's on the second bolt. And the other spec which I'm gonna show you, it's Cinders, and this is amazing. This I haven't played Destro because I'm still waiting for LFR to open so I can get this one. And this gives you another charge of conflag and reduces the time that conflag charges recharge, right? And this is the spec you're gonna play most of the time, especially against melee cleaves. And why is this spec so good? First, Destro is still tankier than Affliction, no matter what you think, no matter what people say. Even though Demon Armor it's nerfed compared to Affliction one, the Mastery just makes up for it, and it just reduces a total, if you're lucky enough, a total of almost 20% with no Mastery gear, right? So yeah, it's just better. Overall, it's just a better spec. It's way tankier, and you get more from Soul Leech because you do more damage in terms of big hits. So whenever you Chaos Bolt, your Soul Leech will always be refilled, right? It's different from Affliction where you don't really have those big hits outside of cooldowns, and the Soul Leech just works better with Destro. So I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna show you on a two target cleave. Keep in mind that for this to work you need Cinders. I'm gonna do it without Cinders just to show you the potential that the spec has. And I'm gonna Infernal this target. I'm gonna show you with cooldowns obviously, but without cooldowns it's around, I did it, and it's around 5k DPS every 30 seconds. And this is what you want to do, by the way. You want to use Havoc, emulate two targets, conflag, double conflag to get the best out of Roaring Blaze, and then double Shadow Burden. And with every you have this burst every 30 seconds, so it doesn't line up with the coil obviously, but it depends on how you, if you're almost finishing someone. And keep in mind that this gains, Shadowburn gains a 50% chance to crit on targets below 20% HP, which means this is gonna hit like a truck if you're trying to finish someone. This spec I tried it in beta, and before I start, I tried it in beta, and it's just insane. And even though, for example, against mages you won't play Dark Soul, you can play Channel Demon Fire or even Soul Conduit, and you don't lose as much as Affliction. Obviously, Dark Soul is still super good, but you don't lose as much as Affliction. Um, so Channel Demon Fire, for example, against a warrior fire mage, it's still gonna do good damage because of Roaring Blaze. But I'm gonna show you. Okay, so this is my focus because I don't want to cleave with Infernals, and I'm gonna show you the true potential of the spec. So you start with the Havoc, you pop, okay, Shadowburn, Shadowburn. Now you have time to just Chaos Bolt if you want, and there you go. You have 7k DPS single target, and I don't have. Keep in mind, I don't have 13k. I don't have Cinders, so it's around 7k DPS with cooldowns up. I'm gonna show you without cooldowns in a sec. It's around 7k DPS without Cinders, which means that my conflag, I will have an extra charge of conflag, and I'm gonna show you without any cooldowns, so you have a notion on how much damage you can do on two targets. And by the way, single targets wise, the burst, I'm gonna show you first, single target wise, the burst is still insane, right? And I'm not getting any crits, like you can see. Still around 3.5k. This is insane, okay? And I'm gonna show you on two targets. With Cinders, the burst can actually just fly up to 10k, 12k with cooldowns up. And once again, it's all instant. You don't need to fake cast anything. You can just double coil people and just then do the burst. Like you will get all the burst in the Havoc window. You still play focused chaos just to get some single target pressure, but you don't really need it if you don't want to. Um, I have war mode enabled. You always want cremation because conflag it's gonna be your main damage, like you see here, conflag and shadowbird. And now I'm gonna do it without any cooldowns. I'm just gonna get immolate on both, just so you see. Okay, there you go. Around 3k DPS every 30 seconds. Without, once again, the legendary. I think this spec, and I didn't say anything because this spec is probably not, maybe not, but I would think it's gonna get nerfed at some point. But I didn't say anything on the forums about this spec, but I kept saying that destru was fine, and that was for a reason. And this is the spec that I think will make destru once again the best warlock spec. You can always, you have options, okay? If you play like against a Shadow Priest team or against a Boomy team where they only have one kick, you can just go with Madness and get big Chaos Bolts, get big single target pressure. If you play against or against any wizard, and if you go against a melee cleave, you just go the Cinders and just spam instants the whole game without thinking of fake casting. And whenever you have a chance to actually cast a Chaos Bolt, it's a plus. It's not a requirement like in BFA to get a kill. It's just a plus. And then you have Shadowburn, which is probably your best execute. And there is one more spec that you can actually make it work, and I'm gonna I'm gonna show you. I shouldn't have went Affliction because Affliction is dog shit. But yeah, which is Soulfire. Yes. This hits for 8k. It's a 3.4k, 3.2 second cast. But this against Shadow Priest Boomy, which you see a lot, uh, where they have no kicks, you just use Nether Ward to prevent any CC on you, and you cast that. And if you get this off with Dark Soul, you might actually be able to one-shot people, or almost one-shot. And yeah, that is those were the specs. And if you have the legendaries, try it out. You need both. Don't forget, you need Madness and Cinders. Cinders, it's the most important one because most of the time you will be trained, so you need to get that pressure off. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a really short video just to show you the best warlock caster spec. See ya.